Alright guys, welcome back to Rome Reviews. I'm Rome, and today I just wanted to talk about customization on the Vivo X Fold3 Pro and the Vivo X Fold3 Pro that has the global version of the of Android on it, which is FuntouchOS. So we just gonna get right into it. Basically, go into settings. We're gonna go down to home screen, lock screen, and we're just gonna cover each one of these sections on here. So starting with wallpapers, we're gonna go to let me go to wallpapers, and then I'm gonna go to here, and I'm gonna go to a bunch of wallpapers that I just download off of Threads. And don't worry, I'm not just stealing the wallpaper. I actually share these wallpapers back out so other people can download them. But what I want to show you is when you select a wallpaper, you could choose all screens or current screen. I'm gonna do all screens simply because it gives you more options on what you want to do with it. So here you'll see across the bottom you have home screen wallpaper, lock screen, or apply to both. If you set them individually, you see these little arrows here where you can choose left or right, up or down, or horizontal or vertical. If you choose horizontal, which it doesn't really work on this wallpaper, well, maybe it does. Let's see. If I choose horizontal, it'll give you a wider wallpaper, which means the wallpaper will move when you swipe left or right on the screen. Or if you do vertical, it'll just be vertical. It won't move side to side when you swipe up and left or right on the screen. But you can choose which section of that wallpaper you want to use, which is pretty cool. And you can do the same. You could do the same, slightly more limited on the cover screen. But if you do horizontal, like I said, it's just more limited on the cover screen because the phone is folded, it's closed. So that's that. But if you do apply both, that goes away. You can't choose the swiping, make the wallpaper move as you swipe when you apply to both. So just keep that in mind. But you can still choose which section of the wallpaper you want to use for when the phone is open, which is pretty cool. And even closed, but it's like I said, it's just a little bit more limited. So moving on from wallpaper, that's pretty much it for wallpapers, honestly. Let's do themes next. So I've covered themes a little bit in another video. I think I covered it a little bit when I did the review of the phone, but either way, themes, it's a little weird because with FuntouchOS 14, you had these themes here, and they would, let me just click on one just to show you guys. And if I want to apply, it just applied it. So I have to go back and change it. Let me choose one that I've used before. I guess I want, I'm going to do, let's do this one. And I really want to show you guys this. It's just applying it. That's weird. But these are the older themes. So let's go ahead and go do a newer theme so I can show you guys what I mean. So if I do a newer theme, oh, it has an update. That's interesting. That's new. You are recommended enable. Yeah. So it's updating. Okay, well, we'll come back right after this finishes updating. Oh, that was quick. So yeah, we'll just keep moving. So when I click apply, it actually just applies it. Huh, that is different. I wonder if there was something with the update. But originally, when I would apply a theme, it would ask you if you wanted to change the always on display as well. So let's see if it changed that. Let's lock it. Always on. It actually changed the always on display without asking you. So that's different. That's new. That's interesting. So, okay, well, we'll just keep pushing. So anyway, with this thing, with some of the themes, you'll see that it impacts the always on display. So if I click it, it'll bring it up. Double click maybe. And you see how it comes out of the always on display, and then it'll go even one step further when I unlock it, which is freaking out right now, acting weird just because I'm recording. So let's try that one more time. Always on display. Comes out of the always on display, and then I think it's trying to detect my face and it's not, and it's making it act up. But the fingerprint reader is not that inaccurate, guys. I promise you it's not. But if I unlock it, it goes all the way through the animation. I wish I could get this to do it more smoother than that. So let's try one more time. Always on display. Lock screen. Into the phone. And some of these themes have that, but I guess with the new update, you won't know that, which is, I don't know if I don't know if I like that. That's weird for it just to suddenly do that without prompting you. I used to like the prompt where it would give you the option to say, "No, don't change my always on display." But yeah, it doesn't give you that prompt anymore. Huh, interesting. But anyway, moving on. So another thing I wanted to touch on themes was, let's see, for those people that just like to change their icons and leave everything else the same, you cannot do that on the Vivo. If you want your icons to change, let me go back. Let's see. I think it is going to be themes. So if I go to download more, you'll see and hear that each theme comes with an icon pack, but you have to apply the entire theme. You can't just go in and download an icon pack like you can on Samsung and some of the other devices. It's just not the case on the Vivo. So I know that sucks for a lot of people because a lot of people like to have their own layout with the wallpaper and the shapes, and then they just want to go in and have their icon pack separately. You cannot do that on here, unfortunately. You have to download the entire theme. And on top of that, there's another limitation, which is why I really don't use themes on my phone unless I use the ones that came with the phone, just because I like the animations all the way from the lock on the always on display to the lock screen to the home screen. I don't care for themes on the Vivo simply because if you go in, you'll see these are the icons. The most popular icons are gonna have new themes applied to them. Anything outside of these really popular icons, they're all going to look the same. And I'll apply this. I think I have themes downloaded already. So let me see. I'm trying to find the ones that I already have. Let's see. Me, local themes. Let's see. Here we go. So let's see. Which one did I download? There we go. Downloaded themes. So I'll do one of the ones that I just had up there. I'll apply and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Apply. Let's come out, go to home screen, and you'll see that the icons outside of the really popular ones did not change. But if I go into my folder, it changed Instagram, it changed Snapchat. I think it changed Messenger. I don't use Messenger a lot, but you can see it changed. Is that the themes? Yeah. It changed things, and it changed the camera app. But it's really sporadic because it didn't change a lot else on this phone. So it changed the local Vivo store app. But it's really sporadic, which is why I don't use themes on the phone. Also, it did not change the layout of my screen. Which I mean, if I apply the theme, if I'm gonna go through it, I guess I would want to go through it all the way, where I wanted to change it and make it look like the theme looked in the on the preview. But it didn't do that. So, I mean, just things to be aware of. So, that's themes. Let's go back to settings. I saw it right there. Come back, and we're going to go to always on display. And now, here's the part where one of the people that subscribed to my channel, I watched her video on this, and she was just pointing out things that she didn't like about the Vivo, and I did not disagree with a single point. Actually, I get it. I actually get it. But moving on, if you want to change your always on display, there are quite a few options in here actually. And I like the fact that they're not all downloaded and just taking up space on your phone. You have to download some, which I really like. Now, if I have to go back and let's say I want to remove one that I downloaded, let's download this one. We're going to do this live and figure out this together. Let's see if we can download. Yeah, you can delete it. Okay, that's good. So if you no longer want to use it, you no longer want to have it sitting on your phone, you can delete it. That's pretty cool. But anyway, these are all of the different themes. I mean, not themes, but the different always on display styles. And like I said, it's quite a few of them. They give you a lot of good options in here. But I'm going to show you one of the limitations of the always on display on the Vivo. And this is a Vivo thing. I don't know why they do this. I don't know why they limit you that way. But they do limit you. So moving on, you're gonna go to you remember we're at home screen, we're always on display, and we're gonna go to notifications. And in here you can only choose 4 notifications that you want to see from 4 apps that you want to get notifications from on your always on display. It will not show all notifications from every app that you have on your phone. Every app that you're getting notifications from, it won't show that. And I really do not like that on the Vivo. I don't know why they limit you this way. I know it's a choice because it can show them, and it shows them really big for some reason. I don't know why they do that. Actually, let me text myself from my other phone. Let me turn this phone off. Keep it right there for you. Let me text myself, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Really quick. I'm trying to do this real quick. And by real quick, I mean super slow. So, yep, it pops up the notification in the middle of the screen. Let me see if I can make that a little brighter. It won't show, but I think you guys could see it. It brings it out. Let's see, but it doesn't get really bright, but you can see it. It's just the SMS and it's white. It doesn't even actually show the actual icon with color on it, which is another thing. I think it's just a weird choice. But yeah, you can see here that it makes you pick. So it grays out all of the other options if you select the last one. But if I move one and now we're down to 3, now you can select another app. I just think that's weird. Now, I will say, while I dislike it because I just prefer options, it doesn't bother me as much because I don't use a ton of apps. I just use Instagram. I probably need to switch to Threads since I don't use Instagram as much. And actually, it doesn't even give me an option for Threads. You see what I mean? It's just so weird. But yeah, Telegram messages. So these are the apps I chose, and like I said, I don't have a lot of apps on my phone that I get notifications from that I pay attention to, anyway. So it doesn't bother me as much, but I think that's a weird limitation to have on your phone. But anyway, moving on. Let's see, desk calendar. Oh, okay, this is pretty cool. So if you do your phone, put in tent mode, and you choose a calendar. Actually, let's do that because I actually don't use this feature. This is what's selected by default. But let's put it in tent mode. Let's see how that looks. Let's see in tent mode. Let's see if we can get it to show up. It takes a second to recognize that it's in tent mode, and I have to keep it shut because I'm holding the phone. And the hinge is loosened since I've been using the phone, so it won't stay. Let's turn it off. Let's see if it recognizes that it's in tent mode. It does not yet. I'm going to have to sit it down there now. Yeah, I want you guys to see it though. You see that? That's pretty cool. I actually never used this. I probably should. I don't see why I don't. Cause I lay my phone on my nightstand. It would be nice to have a clock on my nightstand all night. I may actually start using it. That's pretty cool. So yeah, that's tent mode, and you have a bunch of different clocks you can actually choose in tent mode. So that's pretty cool. I won't complain about that one. I actually like that one. But like I said, the notification thing is just a big deal for me. I don't know why they limit you in that way. But anyway, moving on. So the next thing we're going to touch on is color and style. This is pretty basic. You can turn on and off system UI. So it'll just apply that base blue on your phone. Let's see. Let's do this. Wipe it down. These fingerprints drive me crazy, so I always keep a microfiber cloth with me to wipe my phone down. But anyway, if you turn it on, then it'll apply the colors from your wallpaper, and you can just go through and choose what you want it to be, and it'll apply to your system UI. But it separates that for your icons. Apply color icons, enable. It removes the theme when I apply that, so that's fine. That's fine. So you'll see the icons are purple. Now I don't know. Let's see if we can do those separately. So if I choose this, it's going to apply to the UI and the app icons. I wish you could do those separately. That would be cool. But yeah, so this, like I said, this is pretty straightforward. Nothing crazy here. Nothing crazy at all. So you could change your wallpaper here, and it'll just take you there. I mean, like I said, it's straightforward. Lock screen settings. While it's nice that we have this option, it is once again another really limited thing in FuntouchOS. I don't know if it's the same case with the China version of this of Android that they put on the Vivo, but this is what we have on the FuntouchOS. You can change the font of your clock, where it's located, how it's aligned, but that's it. And the color. that is it. That's all you get. Actually, let me not apply that. But yeah, that's it. Open Control Center from your lock screen. So if you swipe down on your lock screen, it brings up Control Center. I mean, it is exactly what it means, what it's saying. Change lock screen wallpaper based on theme. Now I could turn it off and it may not change my wallpaper when I apply my theme. But only static wallpapers can change based on themes. That's interesting. But yeah. So there may be a way around it where you can apply your icon packs and not worry about having to, I mean not icons, but apply the theme and not worry about it changing your wallpaper. There may be a workaround. I mean, actually, since we're here, let's test it out. So I turned it off. I'm going to go to themes. And I'm going to go to one of the downloaded themes. Apply. It's applied. It still changed my wallpaper. So let me go back. Maybe I didn't read that clearly. That's weird. Let's see. Lock screen. Only static wallpapers can change based on themes. Oh, so, well, there it is right there. I mean, so your static wallpaper still would change. That's weird. That's a weird choice. This is a common thing with FuntouchOS. Now, I have another Vivo X200 coming soon, and I'll do a comparison between FuntouchOS and OriginOS and see if there are any major differences between the two and see what we get. But that's where we are. So let's see. Is there anything else? Home settings. Now, home settings, this is another section I want to cover because they have it buried in here where you could change the shapes of your icons. So I feel like this is another thing that you should be able to do on your home screen, but you can't. But so anyway, we're going to go into home settings and then click on icons, and there it is. Actually, some stuff is missing since this update, which is so weird to me. Let me close the phone. Something weird is going on. I updated the FuntouchOS recently, and there are just things that just been moved around. So yeah, you used to be able to change the shape of your icons in here and how big they were, the size of them. That is weird. What is going on with this phone? They really changed a lot since this update. They messed up my phone. I may have to roll it. I might have to try to roll it back. But in here is where you could change the size of you can make them circular, or more square, and you can make them slightly bigger or slightly smaller. It's not drastic, but it's, we all have our preferences. So that's where that should be. Driving crazy. So I jumped down there because I had someone that was interested in changing their icon shapes and stuff like that, and so I just wanted to cover that real quick. But here is also where you can enable your drawer on this phone. So if you don't have the drawer enabled, you just go with standard style. You can only access all your apps. It's kind of like a iPhone deal where you can only access your icons by swiping left or right. It doesn't have an app drawer on the iPhone. So I say that's iPhone style right there instead of standard style. I like the drawer style because I don't like all my apps on my home screen. I like to be able to swipe up and see the rest of my apps. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to deal with this update. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I think I know what it is. Hold on. Let's go back into settings. I just realized I think it's because I applied that theme. Let's go back and let's put the basic theme on here. Okay. Now let's go back. And let's go to home settings and go to icons. Nope. That's not it. I really thought that was it. Well, I'll figure that out and get back to it. But anyway, let's do the rest of home settings. Add icon to home screen. When I download new apps, I don't want it automatically popping another shortcut on my home screen. So no, I turn that off. Home screen layout. Why did I do that? Good old FuntouchOS. I think it took me out because I chose home screen layout. But I want to go into this other screen. There we are. And you can choose 4x6, 5x6, and those are your only choices. You can't choose more or less. That's it. And that just means if I do 4x6, I hate that I did that because it's gonna change how my apps. Maybe not, maybe not. But you have four across, 6 going up and down. Of course, I have the, maybe I can do it here. Yeah, that's a better representation. 4 across, 6 up and down. And I like 5x6 because I can put more apps there. And I like to leave it like that. I'm gonna come out of there without messing up my layout. Hopefully it didn't. Let's see. It didn't. Okay, good, good, good. Let's go back in. Sliding effects. So this is where the Vivo, I'll say this is where FuntouchOS does shine, kind of. And I'll elaborate on the kind of in a second. You can choose how the transitions from screen. So if I choose jumping, you'll see. And it even gives you a preview when you select it. Superposition. You see how the page comes from the back or goes down to the back when you swipe. I like that. Fading. They fade away a little bit, slightly, ever so slightly. And let's see, carousel. See that? And turnover. So the FuntouchOS will give you some customization. It gives you a bit, but they all feel weird and limited somehow. I don't know why, but they feel limited somehow. Okay. Lock layout. What is that? When enabled, you will not be able to move or delete items from the home. Oh, okay. Just lock your layout. Okay, duh. Okay. Icons. That is. Oh, there it is. Okay, I guess it took a minute to recognize that I no longer have that theme applied. So here we are. Let me wipe this bad boy down again. Get these fingerprints off. Driving me crazy. All right. So your icon style, you have minimal and exquisite. I like exquisite, even though it's only a ever so slight change. So I'll say look at the albums because that's where it's more noticeable for me, and camera. You see it's minimal right now. If I click exquisite, it makes them look more modern to me. And it's just in my mind. But moving down to round the corners, you see the apps are squared now. If I do, you do more circular, and then you can go all full circle, which is pretty cool. But you can only do this, as you can tell. I mean, we all just saw it together. You're gonna do this without a one of your downloaded things being applied, and you can do icon size. Let's do this. And like I said, the change is ever so slight. It's so odd. It's so slight though, but But there we are. Show icon name. That's another customization that I feel like, I mean, yeah, I guess if you just want that really, really clean look on your screen. Yeah, I may leave that actually. Let's see. So, yes, I'm glad we were able to get that to work because I really wanted to show you guys that. So, cool. The dock. Show recent apps at the top, which I really like that. So if I swipe up, you'll see my, I don't know why it says recommended apps, but these are the most recent apps that I've used on the Vivo. And I'm always talking my YouTube page. Probably too much. But anyway, we're going back to settings. Icon autofill. What is that? It gives you no information on that. So I don't know what that is. I'm not going to enable it because it was off. The Google Discover page, that's just where over to the left, you can turn that on and off. And this is just where I get all my tech news and my little game stuff, my little game updates that I follow. Cool. Back into it. Swipe down from on the home screen to get the notification center. Just what it says. Let's see. That's that. Moving forward. App suggestion bar, which that's so weird where it has the recent apps and it has the app suggestion bar. It's so, yeah, it's weird. App icon badges. So when you get notifications, you see how it's only, well, I guess the ones that it doesn't have selected, like, I can't turn Buffalo Wild Wings on. I haven't been there in a while, but I can't turn it on. I don't know why, and I think it's limited. Another one of those limiting factors on this phone where it's limiting you to what you can select. Let's see if I uncheck something. No, it does not allow you to get application notification badges. So the notification badges are just those numbers. So you can choose to make that a dot or a number. I just like to know the numbers so I can see how many notifications I have. So that's why I have that on. Moving forward, I think that's it for home settings. So, and simple mode. Simple mode is where it just, I wonder if this is going to change my layout on my phone. As you can tell, I'm very concerned about my layout on my phone because I have it laid out exactly the same across phones. So I don't misplace, or so I always know where apps are on the phone. I have it laid out exactly the same, except for like a couple of widget difference I have on here. But I have it laid out exactly the same from phone to phone. Oh, I turned on simple mode, and oh, you know what? This is not simple mode. I did not turn it on. I made those icons big and it shifted things around. Damn it. Okay, well, I gotta fix that in a minute. But yeah, let's turn on simple view. Since it's already messed up anyway, let's keep it moving. Let's keep doing it. So simple view, you can set or exit simple view here in settings. Okay, cool. So simple view, okay, just like the name of it implies, it just makes really big icons that take up your entire phone. You get 3 pages, or you can add more here. Okay, yeah. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the Lumia layout, kind of the Windows layout that they had on their Lumia phones. I miss those phones so much. But anyway, let's exit this. I don't care for simple mode. But yeah, I think that may be it for customization on the. Oh, you know what? Even though it's not under the home screen, lock screen wallpaper, which I feel like it should be, you have dynamic effects here. And I'll touch on this really quickly. Dynamic effects is where you could basically edit almost every animation on your phone. So let's see, you can turn on motion blur to help with the smoothness when you're down at 60 hertz. Real-time blurring, blur effect becomes a real-time blur. I'm not a fan of motion blur at all. I'll turn it off on every game that I play. And let's see, weather backgrounds, dynamic weather when enabled. The weather app will display dynamic backgrounds. Okay, I don't have that enabled, so no worries there. Ambient light effect, always on display. Display dynamic effect for notifications when. And that, I'll show you guys. I have it turned off because I felt like it was eating my battery up. But let's see if we could trigger something. Display the ambient light for new effects. So let's test it out. I'm going to text myself one more time real quick. And you should see the phone light up around the edges. It did not. Weird. Start time 6 a.m. End time 12 a.m. So always on, I guess. On screen display dynamic effect for notification or call when the screen is on. Okay. Let's try one more time. I'm telling you, the FuntouchOS is very inconsistent. And it takes time for when you enable things for it to actually work. Let's try again. Still didn't do it. And I'm doing this stuff live so you guys can see it because FuntouchOS is just so finicky. So let's see why it's not working. Incoming calls. I mean, let's try it. Oh, you know, here it is. Here it is. Notification apps. It's limiting you again. Let's see. Let's see if messaging is selected, which it should be. It's not. That's why. There it is. Why? Why? Okay. I mean, I guess it's nice to have the option, but I feel like messaging should be. There it is. Now you can see it. And it's like, I call it the Samsung effect because that's the first time I noticed it was with Samsung. But I'm going to turn that back off. I don't want it eating up my battery. Let's turn it off. On screen display. Turn it back off. But that's the ambient lighting. And home screen transition. We just touched on that a little bit. But this is slightly different where you see efficient, saves battery life. It just kind of. Alright guys, sorry about that. My camera just told me I was recording too long. So anyway, yes, we were in home screen transition animation. And this is just simply saying, hey, if I do none, it'll pop in. It'll just pop your home screen in. And efficient uses less battery, but it still uses more than if you were using none. Moderate makes the transition smoother, and comfortable makes it even smoother. Simple as that. Nothing complicated there. And here's like how things come in from your lock screen. And you have fly out by layer, just fly out and fly in. A few options there, nothing crazy, but there are options which I always prefer over nothing. Fingerprint icon animation. You have 2 pages here, and it's just how the fingerprint. Let's see, I can show you guys. You see, let's go into the lock screen. You can just see it right there. That's how it looks. Nothing crazy. And you have a few different options there, so you could animate almost anything on this phone as far as like security goes. So let's see, that's fingerprint. Just want to show you those really quickly. Come out, fingerprint recognition, like when it recognizes your finger, the animation that it'll make. And it has a few pages here actually. So you have that. You have that in red. You have this. You have that. This. You can get with this, or you could get with that. Okay, I'm just gonna go through these a little bit quicker. This is the one I have selected at the moment, and the last one. All right, face recognition. Like I said, you could animate almost everything on this phone. It's crazy. It's so cool. That's one of the things where FunTouch, like I said, I don't know if that's the same case with the Chinese version, but with FuntouchOS, this is where it shines. You have a few different options there for facial recognition. Not nearly as many as the fingerprint, but, and the last one that I actually have selected. I feel like it's not a ton going on, but it is a nice animation, which I'm sure is using a ton of battery. You have your charging animation. You have a couple pages of those. And show you those really quickly. I like the simplicity in this one, but I have this one selected right now. Alright, moving on. And you have a USB insertion animation when you plug in USB in, and just a little quick poof. Which is, I like the options. I mean, it's nothing that you'll pay attention to like after you see it a few times, but it's just nice to have it. Okay, screen on and off animation. And so you have no animation where it just pops on. You have one where it opens up from, it seems like the center, powers on. I have this one because it seems like it's powering on from the power button, like the direction that the power button is. That's why I like that one. And this one, it comes in from the top. Simple as that. Nothing crazy. And I think that's it for dynamic effects. I actually think that's overall it for customization on this phone, as far as like appearance goes and different animations. So yeah, I just wanted to cover that with you guys, and I appreciate you tuning in. And like and subscribe to see the Vivo X200 when it arrives in a couple of weeks. I'm going to spend a lot of time with that phone, especially exploring the Chinese version of the OS on that phone. Origin OS it's called. So yeah, tune in for that, guys. I appreciate you hanging out this long if you're still here, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.